Daniel Colaner was 6 months old when he was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma, a cancer of the nerve tissues. After chemotherapy, surgery, and blood transfusions, Daniel's cancer went into remission. To keep his brain developing, doctors recommended Daniel play music, so he began playing the piano as a young boy as part of his recovery. Now a gifted musician, Daniel made his debut last year at the legendary Carnegie Hall in New York City.
Well, Daniel's here with us, and you're a miracle, right? I mean, how much of the cancer do you remember?
Well, I really don't remember much. I remember mostly the follow-up treatments, but just getting through all of this, having only a 25% chance of survival, was just absolutely, it's a miracle that I'm here today.
What do you attribute that to?
Well, there were a lot of people praying at the time, even people we didn't know. And the doctors had run scans, and they had found that the type of cancer I'd had, they could use a less aggressive treatment. And my chance of survival jumped from 25% to 85%.
Okay. As I understand it, playing the piano became part of your therapy, part of your recovery, part of the treatment plan. Why so? Why piano?
Well, because I had been so young when they had given me chemotherapy, they really couldn't tell us for sure what we were going to experience. I mean, there were possible cognitive delays, hearing loss, fine motor deficits, all kinds of terrible things that could happen. So the doctors recommended music as a form of counteracting these side effects. And my parents used to be opera singers, and they believed that the piano was the best way to start any musical training.
I would agree, yeah.
And you know, we had this rental upright piano at home, and I just sat down and started banging around, and I really loved it.
Well, what's your first memory when you really understood that you've cracked this, that you have the potential to be really good at it?
Well, I remember I went to a piano lesson. I had started piano lessons around first grade, and I just sat down, and I was playing this absolutely beautiful piece, and it was just me and the music. And what I really love about music is it allows me to express myself without necessarily using words, or it's just a very unique art form.
Okay, so in first grade, you got so into the music that you got lost in it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and that's rare. Not a lot of musicians get to that, and here you are. What were you, like 6 years old at the time? 6, 7?
About 6, yeah.
Okay. All right, how did you get from that to Carnegie Hall?
Well, I had originally been studying a piece called The Cat and the Mouse by Aaron Copland. And the audition date is about a year back from the actual performance. And by the time the performance was rolling around, I had significantly improved. So I had known of this piece called The Fantasy Impromptu by Chopin. And I remember hearing it, and I absolutely loved it. And me and my piano teacher agreed that it was a very good piece to play at Carnegie Hall.
Well, for those of you that don't know Chopin, that's one of the toughest pieces of music. I mean, the runs in that are legendary. And here you were mastering it. At what age?
Well, I was 12 at the time. I recently turned 13 in December.
Okay. So at 12, you're playing Carnegie Hall and playing, I think, one of the top musical pieces for piano. As I understand it, you also play the organ.
Well, yes. I came home from a piano lesson, and I declared to my mom that I felt limited by the piano, that it just didn't do enough.
Not enough keyboards?
So before I could say anything else, she carted me off to the local church to see the organist. I remember seeing her hands and her feet going all at the same time, playing multiple keyboards, and I just fell in love.
Okay. So is that going to be the instrument for you going forward? Or are you going to, anything that has a keyboard?
Well, I think really piano and organ are great complements to each other. They're both absolutely beautiful. They're both keyboard instruments. Honestly, I really don't know what the future holds in store for me, but I just live it one day at a time.
Haven't you been taken on as a sort of a special student by one of the top organists in the world?
Well, yes. I went to a summer organ academy at the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York. And the head of the organ department there, David Higgs, offered to take me on as a private student. And now I sit with these college students in master classes, and it's a really great opportunity.
I can say it's more than that. And at this church, aren't you now the substitute organist? Well,
yes, I now play at St. Sebastian in Akron, Ohio. And it's really amazing. I mean, the organ there is incredible. And I get to play Mass and serve God and use my talents in front of all these people. And I absolutely love doing it.
All right. What's your favorite piece of organ music?
Well, I want to say the Bach Toccata in D minor.
Yeah.
Is, the scary movie music that everyone knows. I also like the Broman Toccata. It's really cool. The nice thing about organ, you can do so much with it because you can combine all these different stops and you can make so much sound. And it's incredible. And for a person like me that absolutely loves sounds, I just absolutely loved it.
And more than just the sound, different moods and atmospheres.
Well,
the range is really incredible.
Well, yes, and it's part of the reason why I grew to love music is because it's just such a great opportunity to express yourself beyond words.
Okay. What would you tell children who are watching right now who are thinking about music? What would be the #1 lesson for them?
Well, I say if you work hard and you learn your pieces, you might kind of hate it a little. I didn't always like practicing, but if you practice and you get really good, it can really pay off.
How do you get to that point where you become one with the music?
Well, I think it's just hearing the music and being... I always had a very strong emotional connection to music. I mean, there are a lot of just beautiful pieces. And it reminds me of my cat. We have a calico cat named Imogen, and she just lays in the sun, in the morning. And it just being able to portray this beautiful emotion just is incredible.
Yeah. The point in time where the technique gets lost and then you get lost in the music. At the same time, the technique remains perfect. Yeah, that's a moment of transition.
Yeah, and that's really it.
Yeah.
Right there.
And you founded it at age 6, which I find absolutely incredible.
Well, from a very early age, I had a computer program named Pam the Piano, and it taught me some simple songs, and I loved it.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to a great future for you, and I think definitely God has his hand on you and has put you for such a time as this. It's a wonderful story. Well, you can hear more of Daniel's story on our Facebook page. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/700 Club Interactive for a social exclusive interview. And Daniel, thank you for your story. Thank you for being here.